I'm transforming our yard with some sandstone slabs to replace the slabs that we had previously. So in this video, I'm going to be laying these new sandstone slabs, and by new I mean reclaimed, because you know I love a bargain. Last time I took up the old slabs and cleaned the concrete below, ready for the new slabs. Usually when laying slabs you would have a layer of compacted hardcore and then lay the slabs onto a mortar bed. This process will be slightly different as I'm laying these slabs on top of concrete. I'll be using a mixture of exterior tile adhesive where the slabs have to be very close to the concrete level, and regular sharp sand mortar on the areas where I can lay a thicker bed. What I like to do when I'm laying slabs in a non-standard area, e.g. not a rectangular patio, and when I have a random amount of slabs rather than a standard pack, is to lay the slabs out in the space and then take a photo and follow that when laying. This just helps avoid any cross joints and just ensures that you aren't left with all one size of slab towards the end. I started off by lifting some of the existing patio slabs and relaying them to a better standard to tie into the new slabs. The first slabs I'm laying are probably the easiest because these just follow the level of the path, so there's no need for a string line for these. I'm laying these all the way to the house at the width of the path, and then I'll have a line here where the fall will change. You'd usually tie the pattern in when laying a random pattern, but because the fall will change at this point, the slabs wouldn't line up properly, and I've learned from making that mistake in the past. You'll sometimes see people cutting slabs diagonally to combat this in areas with two different falls, but I'm not a fan of that. I'm using exterior tile adhesive for this because there isn't enough height for the full mortar bed. You just mix this with water and then lay a thin bed of it. Now that the easy slabs are laid, I can work out my levels for the main area of the yard. First thing to do is to get some string lines set out to set the levels. Because this area has to tie into the path part that I've just laid, and the block paving, which is on the other side of the gate, this will dictate the levels. Usually you'd set up some pins with a string line for your levels, but because this is concrete, I'm going to be running a string line from the path slabs across the yard towards the gate, and I'm just going to be using some dumbbells to hold the string line in place. I also have these pipes coming into the drain, and I don't particularly want the pipes running across the slabs like they previously were. So what I'm going to do is cable tie this flexible boiler drain pipe to this copper pipe so that they both come down into the drain centrally. So now all that's sorted, I can lay these first slabs with tile adhesive. Before laying any slabs, I coat the back of each one with an SBR and cement slurry to ensure that the bond is strong and to stop any of the salts coming through the slabs and staining them. Previously, the bin store just had a couple of council slabs to stand the bins on, surrounded by gravel. So I'm improving on that by continuing the slabs into the bin store this time. There were a few cuts to make to go around the posts of the bin store, which I just cut with the angle grinder. Another benefit of this tile adhesive is that it's quick drying, so you can carefully stand on these slabs after less than an hour. Once these first few slabs were laid, there was then enough depth to lay a full mortar bed. So I got the mixer out and mixed up a 5:1 sharp sand and cement mix with some plasticizer added to make the mortar more workable. I could then just follow my string line, laying each slab in the pattern that I had planned. I'm using a rubber mallet to bed each slab down and a small spirit level just to make sure the levels are correct. When I got to this slab next to the door, I laid it using tile adhesive in the 4 corners and mortar in the middle and edges. I wouldn't usually mix the two on a single slab, but I needed to be able to stand on this slab for access into the house. So use some of the tile adhesive in the corners to stop the slab potentially dropping when it's stood on. Next to the door is a soil pipe, so the slabs around this needed to be cut to fit, which again was done with the angle grinder. I laid a few more slabs as it got dark and then I called it a night. The following day, with the first lot of laid slabs dry enough to carefully walk on, I started out by marking all of the slabs out that needed to be cut, then getting these cut and laid. To lay the next slab in the bin store, I had to remove the door and cross braces to give me access to the central upright post, allowing me to lift the slab over the top of this and drop it down onto the mortar bed. With all of the cut pieces fitted, I was down to the final small cut slab to finish the job. Then we were left with this. I'm really happy with how they're looking so far, but I really can't wait to get them cleaned up. In the next video, I'm going to be cleaning the slabs. Then after that, I'm going to be doing the pointing in a pretty unique method. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those videos. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.